Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name's Emily if you're new here. Today's video is a fun video that I thought would be really interesting to see. So I actually just recently watched Shani's from Shani and Books video about how much money she saved during the year of 2023 just by borrowing from the library. And I thought that was really interesting because I have been a lot more alert of how much I was spending on books towards like the end of the year. I had used Libby as my main source of like borrowing books from a library, so I will be in today's video going through all the books that I borrowed from Libby and read on my Goodreads and going through and seeing how much money I saved just by reading them on Libby and borrowing them from Libby. So I majority read only audiobooks from Libby. I did borrow a few graphic novel and manga books from Libby as well that I read on my iPad, but this year in 2024 I'm going to be using the Libby app to borrow actual books to put onto my Kindle to read, and I have already started doing that and I am loving it because I haven't bought a book in like the last month and a bit, and I don't have a reason to because I want to utilize borrowing books more. I think it's really important to borrow books instead of buying books because we have obviously accumulate such a big backlog in adding books to a physical TBR that you're never going to get to. So I am definitely being a lot more wary of where I'm spending money. I did a recent book unhaul as well, so I unhauled about 17 books off my physical TBR, and then I will be doing another video soon that will come out about adding up all my physical TBR and actually scanning all of my books into a barcoded system. So I'm really excited to do that video as well. But without further ado, let's just get straight into this video. I'm really intrigued and excited to see how much money I actually saved just by reading these books on Libby instead of buying them by audio on Audible, because obviously with Audible you get one free book a month, and I actually just cancelled my Audible subscription because I want to try and use Libby more. So don't need to use Audible. If the book is available on Libby, I will use it on Libby. I have my reading journal and I did write down the books that I did borrow from Libby from my 2023 books read. So in total there was about 24 or 25 books. So I'm going to go through this list and we're going to check Amazon to see how much money, because I'm going to do it on Amazon as well just to keep it consistent. So Amazon is pretty good with keeping all the prices consistent on there, and also all of this will be totaled in Australian dollars. So if you wanted to convert this in your currency, you just need to obviously check out that. I only started using Libby towards I think maybe June or July of last year, so around 6 months of the year I utilized Libby, as I only really discovered Libby then. I was definitely living under a rock because I didn't really know what Libby was, and I was like, I'm gonna get onto that. So I'm just going to quickly talk about Libby for starters. So Libby is a free app that you can download onto your iPhone, iPad, whatever you have, Android, blah blah blah, and it connects to your library. So if you have a local library that actually has Libby as an option, then you will put your member details from your library card into the Libby app, and then it will generate all of the titles available for you to read or listen to from your library. Now I am a little bit naughty and I kind of signed up for an American library because they have so many more titles available, and I really wanted more. I wanted more of a variety because my library don't have a lot of the horror or thriller books that I read. I signed up to the Queen's Public Library, which is a New York City one, and it is amazing. I don't know if it's the same sort of setup as it was when I applied and did my online one, but basically I have some friends obviously that live in America, and they just told me to generate a random address in the New York City area, and so I did that to activate my account, and it was free to sign up obviously, and then obviously I'm just been using that on my app because it's so good. They have so many more titles, like there is thousands upon thousands of book titles to read on there, so I don't need to buy books. So that's just how I signed up. It is so easy. It's a free app, free to sign up if you have a library card, and it is honestly a game changer because I read majority of my audiobooks from Libby this year, like in 2023, so it's awesome. Now for pricing wise, majority of these books on Audible are all $14.95. So I'm going to tally at the end of the video how much on Audible, just from the membership, how much I would have saved, like how much I saved instead of buying them on Audible to borrowing them on Libby. But I actually want to see the physical books and seeing how much the physical book cost for each of these books and how much that tallied up to towards the end, to see what the difference is between buying an audiobook and buying a physical book as well. The book that I read on Libby was Never Lie by Freida McFadden, and this one was $12, which is currently on Amazon. Next book that I read was What Lies in the Woods by Kate Ellis Marshall. This one is $26.95 on Amazon right now. The next book was the next book that I read was You Shouldn't Have Come Here by Geneva Rose, and this is actually unavailable in paperback in Australia, so I'm just going to go with the Kindle price, which was $12. The book that I read was The Watchers by A.M. Shine, and this one for paperback is $18.85. Next book that I read was The Final Girls, which was by Riley Sager, and for paperback this one is $18.25. The next book that I read was How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix, and this one on Amazon is $21.56. The next book that I read was Five Survive by Holly Jackson, and this one on paperback is currently $15.39. The next book that I read was War Deep by Freida McFadden, and this one on paperback currently is $19.93. I then read Rock Paper Scissors by Alice Feeney, and this one for paperback currently is $15.39. I then read The Inmate by Freida McFadden, and this one was $22.99. So then I have two of the mangas that I read on Libby. So the first one was Demon Slayer Volume 1, and currently that is $13.85. And then I also read Chainsaw Man Volume 1, which is also $13.49. I then read One of Us is Dead by Geneva Rose, and this one in paperback currently is $26.73. I then read Nothing But Blackened Teeth by Cassandra Clare, and this one currently is $15. I then read The Last House on Needless Street by Catriona Ward, and that currently right now is $19.99. Then read Your Lonely Nights Are Over by Adam Sass, and on paperback right now is $39.90 Australian. I then read the current 3 books in the Finlay Donovan series. So the first book was Finlay Donovan is Killing It, and currently that is $17.70. The second book is Finlay Donovan Knocks 'Em Dead, and that is currently $17.70. And then the third book is Finlay Donovan Jumps the Gun, and that currently right now on paperback is $17.24. The next book that I read was The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix, and currently right now that is $17.67. I then read The Writing Retreat by Julia Bartz, and that currently right now is $17.24. Then read We Have Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson, which is currently $11.85. The last book that I have read on Libby is Unfamiliar Volume 1 by Harley Newsome, and this currently in paperback is $27.12. So I'm just going to go and calculate all of the prices in paperback and also all the prices in audio to see the difference. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I've calculated the totals, and I'm actually kind of shocked with how much money I would have spent if I bought all these books physically. So in total, if I was to buy all of these books physically, it would have cost me $439.52. That's a lot of money. That wasn't even for the last 6 months of the year, let alone the whole year if I would have like borrowed every single month from Libby. And then if I was just to calculate the price with the Audible pricing of $14.95 per physical Audible audiobook, so that's $14.95, and then obviously adding in my graphic novels and manga, it would have been $353.56, which is still a lot of money you're just spending on audiobooks. Like, you only listen to them once and then you might come back to them again, but like over $350 in the last like 6 months of listening to audiobooks. That's kind of insane. I'm glad that I got to see how much money I actually did save in using the Libby app, and I recommend everyone to utilize their library and Libby. But yes, that was fun to do, and I'm actually shocked with how much money I saved in just using the Libby app. But yes, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps my channel grow, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye!